Students, once you've got your game finished, you can play your game. What I want to show you is how to preserve your game board and be able to set it back to your original state once the game has been played and pieces have been moved around the game board. If you will look, you have the file menu here, and there's a couple things that you should do. One thing, if you've got a file that you want to keep in its original shape, it never hurts to make a copy. Give the copy the name that you want it, tell your Google Drive where you want to save it, and then you'll have a copy of your game. You can even just leave it as copy of and whatever your game board is called. Now that you have a copy, if all your game board squares get moved or your game gets destroyed or erased, no big deal. You've got your original. Go back and make another copy. Now, one other thing to understand real quick is that as you move your game pieces around the board, maybe you're playing with one other person, if your dice roll was 2 and you accidentally moved 5, oh, no big deal. You can just move it, or Control Z takes you back to the last move that you had, like if you forgot which space you were on. You can Control Z undoes one move. Now, if you want things to go back, Control Z again, Control Z again, it will undo it one move at a time. Now that works as long as you've only got a few moves. But if you have played the entire game and there's maybe 20 or 30 moves, well then you're going to want a quick way back to the original state. And that comes in your version history. And one of the first things you want to do, and I'll show that again, File, Version History, Name Current Version. Give this version a name, maybe, or whatever, and then save it. Now you have a place that you can go to, and you can see it's named in version history here. Now I can play my game. I can roll the dice. I can move my game pieces. They're moving around the board. I'm doing a bunch of moves. And I don't want to have to Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Maybe in the course of the game, one of my squares got nudged out of place. It won't matter because as I've made changes, Google Docs, or in this case, Google Drawings, is keeping track of it. When my game is over, when there's a winner, I am going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Version History, and I'm going to select See Version History. And on the right, it's going to bring this up. And what I can do is go to where it says Original, the name that I gave it, and I can go to this red button up here and say, Restore this version, and restore. And you can see it's going to bring it back to the way it was.